welcome to this edition of Up in the Valley. I'm Mike Austin,
Hi,
your
welcome.
host.
Hi, welcome, and I'm Carol Austin, your hostess.
Your hostess?
Yeah,
Or co-host?
Co-host.
Co-host, I like
I'm
that. Co-host.
here with you.
And the sponsor of today's show is Brent Douglas. Isn't that a beautiful backdrop?
Look at this sunshine. It's so pretty, and everybody knows that it's outside today that the sun is really shining.
Yeah, the sun definitely was shining.
Yes,
And it's pretty
definitely.
warm.
It's
Got
quite
pretty
warm
toasty.
today. Yes.
Yeah,
Check on your neighbors that live alone, the elderly, and make sure you don't leave your dogs outside alone without water. Make sure that they have shade during the course of the day, too. And, Mike, it's kind of sad.
You're kidding. You're not going to tell me that Yum Yum didn't find a home yet, did you?
We have a little kitty. Well, we don't have a kitty, but we know some people that have a kitty, and her name is Yum Yum. Just look at her. She's just a little Yum Yum, and she needs a home. She's had everything all taken care of. She's had all her vet check shots and all her little good stuff, and she's
had
spayed.
an oil change. She's had a tune-up. She's
Right. And her name is Yum Yum, and she needs a home. And if you want any information, you can call 832-0630, or you can call Dr. Mathers over at the Oak Claire, over at the Eau Claire Animal Hospital. There you go, at the Eau Claire Animal Hospital. I'm getting sign language here. Dr. Mathers' number is 835-5011, and Dr. Mathers is wonderful, and we would love to tell you about Yum Yum when you want to go get Yum Yum.
Right.
She's so good.
wonderful personality that
Yes.
kitty has, right, Craig?
Oh, absolutely.
Craig, okay,
Definitely,
that's what I thought.
definitely. She's a good kitty.
A very young cat.
Very good. And Mike,
What?
what does this mean to you? And we have Jerry, and he's down on first base, and he's running, and he's going to make a touchdown.
That you must be talking about some like sports announcer.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's our guest today.
Right, Lucas Hoffman, who is the host of Sports View, a show
Yeah.
that we have on here.
Yeah.
He's helps us many times
All the time,
on
yes.
games and stuff. But I guess we're going to find out about his book. He's got a book coming out.
He wrote a book?
And
well, great.
I don't even think it's about sports. I think it's about the storm of July back in 1980.
Oh, I remember that storm in
So-
1980. We
Oh,
sat
yeah.
in my parents' basement.
The we are running that old rebroadcast of the Channel 13.
Oh.
Remember that back in
Yes,
81?
yes.
And then a year later they did another show
Yep.
to say it.
Yep, yep.
And my mic is on there. Sorry. I'll just talk close to Carol.
Okay,
so,
okay.
so I can
Here,
hear.
here, okay.
But we've been running you don't have to, just,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay.
If
Talking to my
we've been
chest.
running that rebroadcast of that old show back in 1980 and
yes.
81, it was a year later that we
Yes.
ran it. And it's it's very interesting part of Eau Claire's history.
Yes, it is.
That storm of
And
1980.
it's kind of like other things. You know where you were when JFK
Right.
was assassinated, and you know where you were when the storm of 1980. Remember where we were?
We were down in your basement.
Well,
in
my
Gra-
parents-
your
my parents' basement,
in
yes.
on Grand Avenue.
And the
That's right.
neat thing about all this, I'll just tell you a quick little story. Well, I'll try to tell you a quick little story. Our children were small, and our oldest son went with us, and we ran over to Brothers 3, which is now Kick's Restaurant on Harding Avenue there, and we picked up a pizza. And he had seen a little girl that was there that day, and you know what? That ended up being his wife eventually.
Oh,
You knew that.
I
It's
guess
our
that's right.
daughter-in-law, Jen.
that's right. Yep.
And Mike, what
I
is...
better know that or I'm in big trouble.
Mike, what does CCSST stand for?
You lost me.
A CCST is a certified car seat safety technician.
Okay.
There's going to be a car seat safety check, which is very important if you have little kids. It's going to be at Mega Pick and Save East. That's on Hastings Way. It's going to be Thursday, the 14th, from 3 to 7. So parents, grandparents, anybody that takes care of other people's kids or your own kids, whatever, are encouraged to stop by. It doesn't cost anything. They'll make sure that the seats that you have now are correctly installed, and that if you just, if you want to install
and
it
you
for
need
you.
to check it out because technology has changed
Yeah.
so much. Remember back
Even
when
in
we had
the
little
last 2
kids,
years,
they were,
yeah. Oh.
they were, you just slapped anything in there and
You didn't
strapped-
buckle it down, you just set
sometimes
it
you
in
didn't-
there.
It was just horrible. Now they have it down
Oh,
to science,
yep.
and it's fantastic,
Yep.
the seats and stuff. So don't settle for older
No,
things.
no,
Make sure
let's
you get
be
it
safe.
checked
It only
out.
takes a little bit.
And is someone turning 100? Is that what I heard?
Yes, Luther Hospital's turning 100 Thursday, July 4th, from 11 to 3. So look
July
at what you're going
14th.
July 14th. Oh, I'm sorry. The 4th of July is already gone. Sorry about
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So look at what you can do on Thursday. You can get up and go and go over to Luther Hospital, 100-year celebration. Sheriff Bob's going to be there. There's got historical things, I don't know if they'll have old needles or anything, but
Probably
they'll
not.
have,
Probably not.
it says historical displays, medical
Sure,
equipment
sure.
and things like that. Sheriff Bob, different health speakers talking about different things. Have a little ice cream and then run over and get your car seat
Well,
checked.
speaking of Sheriff Bob, now, we produced a documentary
Oh,
about
it's so
Sheriff
good.
Bob Dawson, and it's 21 minutes long, and it is really a great documentary.
It really
on Sheriff
is.
Bob. And
I'm sure.
if you are a local person or you know someone that's got a history in Eau Claire that goes
Yeah.
back during the time that Sheriff Bob was doing the Sheriff Bob show, you've got to get this. And you can
Yes.
purchase a copy, 839-5067. You can purchase a copy by calling down here for $10. But the first person to
$10?
call right now will get a free copy.
Oh, my
The
stars.
first person to call 839-5067
Yes.
will get a free copy of the Sheriff Bob documentary.
If you know someone that doesn't live here anymore, what a great gift.
And
It's
if you
only-
call and you find out that you're not the first person, come on, just cough up to $10 and buy a copy.
And
okay?
then come on down and visit us, because
Right.
we'd love to meet you.
That's exactly right.
Do you know Sheriff Bob did another thing recently, too?
What did he do?
Well, first of all, he got to grace our wonderful publication
Yeah,
that
was
we
talking
have
about
here.
this.
And that was talking about this. Plus, he did a show for Vets Remembered.
That's right. Craig Yamauchi does this show, Vets Remember, and I'm not sure, that's going to be coming out pretty quick, isn't it? Couple of weeks.
2
Couple of
weeks.
weeks, we'll have that thing ready to go.
Very good.
So that's really great, that we could tap into a local
I
legend
know.
like that.
He is.
What else is on the news things?
We can
we're down
talk
to-
a little bit more. Oh, good, because I have so many things. You know what Thursday is?
What's Thursday?
Thursday is the day that you go up to Chippewa to the
The Northern
Chippewa.
Wisconsin State Fair.
No, I'm not going
Well,
to
you
go
weren't
there.
talking about that.
Well, no, but we can go to the fair. Were you going to take me?
Dorothy Gilbertson, thanks for calling.
Oh,
and
thanks, Dorothy.
winning that. That's great.
Very
That's great.
good. Well, yes, the fair is coming to town, but Thursday's the
That's
day
the
that
13th. That's
right.
Wednesday,
We go
the
to
13th.
Discovery Hour at the science program.
And I was
for Chippewa Valley Museum.
looking that up, and that is every day, 1:30 to 2, through the 28th. So the entire month
Oh, my
of July,
stars.
it's every day, and it's only $1.
Well,
But you know what, Carol? We are out of time. We got to go to
I
a
can't
break.
believe it. It's just so
I
fast.
know, it flew by so
I
quick.
have so much more to say.
But we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, our guest for today's show, Lucas Hoffman, will be joining us. So we'll be right back.
Thanks.
At the heart of every great community is communication.
When service organizations or nonprofit groups need to reach out to the Chippewa Valley,
Community television is here to help.
When you need to know what your government is doing and want to make your voice heard, you need community television.
Your friends and neighbors have information, expertise, and talent.
Community television has the audience.
Community television, cable channels 11 and 12. Local television, available only on Charter Cable.
Hey, welcome back. Lucas Hoffman, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us
My
today.
first
And I know you
time.
had to kind of shoot right out of your other place.
Race on over here, yeah.
But you made it on time, so
I did,
that's great.
good.
That's
It's
great.
always a good thing.
Now, Lucas, what are you up to? Right now is this July. What was the date?
July 15th.
July 15th, 1980.
July 15th, 1980.
Was a date in infamy.
I suppose
in
you could
Eau
put it that
Claire.
way, yes. But it was on that date that the storm of 1980 hit, and windstorm came through with, in case you weren't here at the time or don't remember, it was winds to in excess of 110 miles an hour.
Wow.
The anemometers all over the city broke. So we're guessing about 114, 112 was the peak wind gusts, and had power out for up to 9 days in some areas, in some cases even longer in the rural spots. Thousands of trees were down. Eau Claire was impassable in certain areas. And it's one of those things, as you were saying earlier, you remember what you were doing when it happened. If you lived in the city and you were old enough to remember it, in fact, there's even a person I heard from who was 2 years old who remembered it. I was 2 at the time, memories are kind of vague. But 25 years have passed, and I thought it might be a good thing to have like a definitive version, a definitive account of the storm. There were some, leader telegrams published some accounts, and they're doing that again this week. NSP's done some, and I thought it'd be a good idea to kind of collect it into a book, and that's what I'm working on.
Cool, cool. When do you think you'll have something actually out?
Well, the book is at the printers right now. It's at Leader Printing, and we're working on getting it all formatted out. The goal is to get it out by the end of the month, maybe early August, but right now the plan is late July. So we'll get it out pretty soon.
It'll be close to the...
It'll be close to it anyway, so it's in the ballpark anyway.
Can we get up some of these pictures?
These are some of the photos that are going to be in the book. The book is called
We got the cameraman hopping out here.
The book itself is called Spearhead Echo, the Storm of 1980. And just to let you know, the name Spearhead Echo comes from the radar image. On the radar itself, the radar echo, it looked like a spearhead. And that's the only storm I've ever heard referred to as a spearhead echo. That's the storm itself. As it was approaching, that's looking south. A farmer named Wayne Thibodeau lived south of Downsville, took that picture. It's facing towards Durand.
Probably zoom out just a hair on it. Yeah, that's fine. No, we'll go to the next.
And then a few more. This is a picture taken in the Mill Run subdivision that was...
Oh, I remember that.
Devastated.
That was a war zone.
There are a lot of pictures from Mill Run, but that's an example of the kind of damage on the northwest side of town. There's lots of farm damage, and that's one example. A lot of farms were really hard hit, crops lost, farm buildings were knocked down. And of course, with all the trees that came down, you lost a fair number of cars.
Oh, man.
It's a good thing nobody was in that car at the time. There was one fatality directly caused by the storm. That was it.
What was that?
In the town of O'Galley, there was a woman who was trying to save her baby and was crushed by a refrigerator in a mobile home.
That's right.
And there were a couple others that happened indirectly, but that was the only direct fatality. Lots of power lines down, as I mentioned, and there's a lot of pictures that were provided by former NSP employees, and it's an example of the work that they were doing. This is a house on the intersection of 3rd and Water Street. It was bisected by a tree. The person was in there was fine. Obviously, that is no longer there. It's a parking lot. It's right by, I think, the Taco Bell or Taco John's. I don't remember which one, but it's right on that intersection.
Right, Taco John's.
Right. And it's right next to there. That's where that picture is taken from. And then I've got some of the text here. The text is arranged solely by chronology. It's arranged in
so you can really
order.
kind of follow the path down.
I collected a bunch of stories and all arranged them in chronological order. So instead of having one story, another story, they're all split up and starts the day of, goes to the storm coming through, into the aftermath.
So it kind of rotates around. You're talking to a person about that day and somebody else, and then you come back around. And
right, it's their quote.
I like that.
Right, and so in effect it tells the story of the storm as it comes through. And it's
a lot of pictures?
A lot of pictures. It's 50% pictures, 50% text. So if you open it up, you'll see, for example,
a page of pictures.
Yeah, a picture on one side and the text on the other, kind of laid out like that. That's a rough version of it. But it's 242 pages, and most of that is split between the two. And there's also a little time capsule at the end and some stats on the storm. Also, a couple stories from former TV 13 meteorologists. I don't know if you recognize the names, Tom Magnuson and Joe Dandria.
Oh, yeah.
They submitted some stories. And
See, I wasn't too.
yeah, well, exactly. I would think you might remember this a bit better.
I was married and had children.
Also, the DJ that was on the air on WEAQ AM, that was the only radio station that stayed on the air, any media that stayed on the air. Everyone else lost power and they had a generator. And they got his story as well. So he was essentially the one voice.
One voice out there.
But the goal is it's going to be, actually it's going to be $24.95 in and of itself. $29.95 if you factor in tax, shipping, and handling.
Okay.
So if
how will people be able to order it?
you can go on the web right now, lucaslight.com. That's kind of the publishing company of sorts. It's LUKASLIGHT.com.
Okay.
And it says order the book, and it explains how to send it, and give it a few weeks. But it will be coming out, as I said, end of July, early August, and it's limited quantities too.
Okay, well, fascinating. That was, and how timely, because we're just coming up on the anniversary now, and I've been playing the replay of the old Channel 13. Lucas, we're out of time, but thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate the work you're doing. This is going to be a very important part of anybody that's collecting the history of Eau Claire's cornerstone.
No problem.
That was a major event, so thank you very much. We're going to go to a break, and Carol and I will be back to wrap up the show. We'll be right back.
My
Hey,
stars.
welcome back. Isn't that fascinating?
Oh,
That is
was-
going to be an important part of anybody
Yes.
that needs to,
Yes.
that wants to have a collection of Eau Claire history.
Yes,
I mean, that
that
is a
was so-
monumental event that was that drew national attention.
Yes, it did.
And here it was just about Eau Claire, immediate Eau Claire area. So
Right,
I think we
right.
lost a third of the trees in Eau Claire.
We were Tree City. I don't know. Maybe we
Right.
still are,
I think
but
we lost that
I think
status.
We lost the
in there.
status. Maybe I remember that.
So what's coming up on the channels? Anything?
You know,
wanna talk
lots
about?
of things are coming up on the channel, but before I start out talking about what's coming up on the channel, I want to talk about something else.
Oh yeah, you're just going to butt in and talk about something
I am.
else?
Last month, we have someone new here, Paul. And Paul was a volunteer of the month, and now he's the new volunteer, the new
Volunteer coordinator.
So he
Well,
coordinates all the volunteers.
Who's the volunteer of the month for July? Who is that?
Some lady that I know.
Well, look at there's her picture
Michael,
right there.
we're
no,
doing
yeah.
this now.
Yeah, that's all right. It's right there is a picture of her.
I'm the volunteer of the
Carol
month.
is volunteer of the month. For
Yeah, because I volunteer. I'm doing this show as a volunteer. So if you're sitting out there now eating your soup and crackers and you're saying, gee, that kind of looks like fun, you can come down and do it too, and you can just get a hold of Paul here. He is so absolutely wonderful. He knows all about different things, and he's organizing all the volunteers and gathering all this stuff together. So if you want to do a show, it doesn't take too much, and you don't have to really be live.
He can fit you in.
He can fit you right in, and it's just really important.
And you really can expand your horizons in
Yeah.
so many different areas.
Sure.
And Jason Brousseau, the one that is directing
Our
the show right now
wonderful
as we speak,
director.
I'm looking at him right through the window. He just waved at me. He is going to be wrapping up his tenure as the director and producer of this show
And he
as
gets
a
to go
student.
to Walt
and,
Disney World.
Yeah, and he's going to be moving on, and we need replacements. So
Yeah.
you need to get down here and.
It is so fun.
And then, like Jeff Kirchhoff, he's
Yes.
out there in the control room right now. He's running the character or the audio board and
Yeah.
stuff. There's all kinds of
It's just
interesting
fun,
things.
neat stuff.
So
It doesn't take
if you're
too much
afraid to be
time.
on this side of the camera,
Yep.
come on down. Craig Yamauchi, right there on the other side of the
Right
camera that I'm
there.
looking at right now. He's helping out.
Right.
But we need more volunteers,
Yeah.
and it's fun. Come down
It
and
is.
join the family
Try
down
it
at
out.
community television.
That's what it is. We're all a big, happy family.
We are. We're happy, aren't we? We're happy. Everybody smile now.
Everybody smile. No, we always do smile. 'Cause it's much fun.
We got to wrap up, and we didn't even talk about it. But City Council live tonight at 7 o'clock.
I know.
And then, again, City Council live again tomorrow afternoon at 4.
That's
So
so
if you see
good.
something on City
That's
Council
right.
tonight that you want to ruffle your feathers about and go talk directly to City Council, you can
There you
see
go.
it tonight live and go down to the public hearing session tomorrow at 4 o'clock down there.
There you
know.
go. Look at that. There's just so much stuff.
Right, and then 9 o'clock tomorrow night is we're going to replay that meeting of the Chippewa Valley Cities, which
Right.
Pat Kreitlow was in. A lot of people
The old news guy.
are more interested in some of his things that he did now that he's kind of retired away from there.
Right.
They're looking back at some of the things he did to get a little
Right,
hint
exactly.
on what he might be up to.
Right.
Anything on the channel that you wanted to?
Well, Get a Clue is on tonight at 10 o'clock.
It's Rod Schultz and
that's
Deborah
Rod-
Becker.
My Deborah Becker.
Yeah.
She doesn't even know me, but Deborah, I like to hear your voice. You're just really good. You're a good person. Call for Volunteers is on tomorrow at 11:30. Some of the churches have their programs on. Ascension Lutheran is on at 1 o'clock tomorrow. So there's all sorts of
So
things.
just a reminder, if you want the schedule,
Yeah.
get subscribed to our newsletter, become a member, and
newsletter.
you can get the newsletter
Yeah,
and
it's
get
all
the
sorts
and,
of
and, and get the
information,
schedule every
different
week,
stuff.
or log on to cvctv.org and look at the schedule and find more information. But we're out of time today.
And we're going on vacation.
And we're going on vacation,
So
but
we
there's going to
won't
be
see
someone.
you,
Yeah, but there's
but-
going to be people here standing in for us.
because we've got some volunteers.
That's right, volunteers. That's what it's all about. So
Yeah.
thanks a lot for joining us today, and
Get out to the fair and be safe.
yep, and see our replacements for the next couple of shows, and then we'll be back in
A while.
a week from Thursday. So thanks a lot for joining us.
Thanks. Bye-bye.